And Madam Secretary, can you take a roll?
Yes. Chair Ridge,
Present.
Vice Chair Miller, and for the record, attending for Vice Chair Miller is Brian Bauer. Vice Chair is unable to attend today's meeting.
Present.
Thank you. Member Palumbo. Member Treadaway.
Present.
Member Saba.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay.
And in addition to the authority members, joining us today is Ray Diaz, the County Counsel to the authority.
Okay, well, welcome, Brian. I don't know if we've ever met before. Glad to have you. Now is the time for members of the public to speak on action items. Are there any public speakers, Secretary?
Members of the public may comment on action items by calling 669-900-6833 and entering meeting ID 927-3658-9370# when prompted, and dial *9 to request to speak. If there is anyone who would like to speak at this time, please press *9 or raise your hand. Madam Chair, at this time, there are no callers.
Okay, thank you. So we will proceed with the agenda item number 1. The first item that's before us is approval of the minutes from the May 20th meeting. Do any members have any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, would anyone like to make a motion for approval?
I'll move for approval.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those, oh, actually, do you need to do a roll call, Rosa?
Yes, I'll do a roll call. Member Saba,
Approve.
Member Treadaway,
Approve.
Member Palumbo,
Approve.
Brian Bauer,
You're on mute, Brian. There you go. Sorry about that. Approve.
okay, and Chair Ridge.
Approved.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move to the second item. The second item is a multi-part item. So it is to approve an adjustment to the current fiscal year that we're in, that is ending very shortly, and to approve the fiscal year budget for the upcoming fiscal year. And I believe, so two parts of it. The staff report and the attachments were really self-explanatory on it. And I'm not sure if Lisa, is Frank on the call?
Yes, I am here.
Frank, do you want to just walk us through what the actions that you're looking for and what the adjustments are, just in summary level, and then we can open it up if anyone has any questions.
Absolutely. As you know, we went through the year, and it was a difficult year for us to try to get through with all the changes going on with COVID. But in doing so, back in October, we had met to make an adjustment to the budget, in which we reduced a lot of our operational costs. We reduced some capital costs, but then in that meeting, we discussed continuing with construction projects that are underway. And for the ones that are not underway, but are in the design phase, just to complete the design portion of that project. And in doing so, we reduced the budget about $4.5 million. Now we're basically at the end of the fiscal year. We're pretty close to knowing what the exact numbers for the 2021 fiscal year are going to be. Of course, there'll still be some accruals coming in, in the final weeks here, first beginning weeks of July. But we believe that the amount shown in Exhibit 1 for the projected 2021 column is what we expect to end our year with. And therefore, that's why we're requesting an adjustment to the 2021 year budget to reflect those amounts. Additionally, that would provide us the year-end or fund balance in the account to carry forward into the 21-22 fiscal year, which will be needed to balance that account.
Are there any questions for staff on the adjustment to the current fiscal year? I'm not seeing any. So Frank, do you want to talk a little bit about the 21-20? Or actually, I guess we can, if there's no questions, does someone want to make a motion to do the adjustment for the current fiscal year?
A motion to approve.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Brian Bauer,
Approve.
Member Palumbo,
Approve.
Member Treadaway,
Approve.
Member Saba,
Approve.
Chair Ridge.
Approve.
Okay, the motion was approved by unanimous consent.
And I broke it into two parts. So for the next one, Frank, do you want to talk a little bit about the upcoming authority budget?
Of course. As we go into the 21-22 fiscal year, a lot of activities resuming again, but we're still not at the same level as we were prior to COVID. So we are continuing with some of the adjustments that we implemented during the 2021 fiscal year. That being on the city side for maintenance, continuing a 20% reduction from the original 2021 budgeted amounts. And then for the utility and ground maintenance costs, the Civic Center security will continue a little over 20% reduction from what was originally included in the 2021 budget. I'll let the county speak on their budgeted items, but for the city's operational costs, that's basically what we're proposing for the 21-22 fiscal year, is to continue almost a 20 to 23% reduction between utility costs, routine and ground maintenance, and Civic Center security. I'll go ahead and, since I'm already speaking, I'll proceed on to the capital projects. We finished basically all of our capital projects during the 2021 fiscal year. The only one that remains is some design work for the Civic Center perimeter lighting project, and therefore we budgeted $76,000 to complete that project. It's not additional funding that we're adding. It's basically the amount that we had planned for the 2021 fiscal year, but we're going to actually complete it in 21-22. So overall, we're basically at the same budgeted amount to complete that project. And again, let the county speak on their proposed items. With all those items, we are going into the 21-22 fiscal year with a projected beginning balance of about $2 million. We're estimating revenues to be about $4 million, and then that'll give us about a $400,000 to $500,000 deficit, of which the city and county are contributing $600,000 towards, to give us a $1.2 million infusion from both sides. And then when you take all the revenues and resources and take out the expenditures, we end with a year-end fund balance of about $727,000. I know that the authority has recommended a $800,000 fund balance, but both the city staff and county staff had determined that the $727,000 fund balance would be sufficient for the upcoming year. And if we need to mid-year or next year, we can go ahead and make those adjustments to either increase or decrease it.
Okay.
And at this point, if the county wanted to go ahead and speak on any of their budgeted items, I'll leave the matter open for them.
Yeah, I have a few comments. I'd just like to thank the city and the county staffs for working together to modify their projections through the end of the year. I know that 21-22 fund balance projections assumes no 2021 invoices submitted in 21-22. Is that correct?
When you say no 2021, there might be a couple monthly maintenance costs that get paid in July that would be accrued through to 2021, but that 2021 figure includes any accruals. Therefore, the cost associated 2021 wouldn't be reflected in the 21-22 numbers.
Right. We're just trying to not go below that $800K goal that we've already set, much more than already has been expressed here, correct?
Correct. I don't expect that I'm fairly confident we'll make that fund balance amount.
And again, I appreciate the partnership between both the county and the city, so thank you for that.
Do you want anyone on the county side to provide any information, Jim, or are you good?
Teresa or Stacy, do you have anything to add that could help us?
I'll add that, and hopefully you can hear me. My microphone's working this time.
We can.
Okay, great. So we will continue to operate at a 20% reduction, as Frank mentioned, the city would do on our operating side. And the three capital projects that we will move forward with is the secure and wrapping of the P3 parking structure due to the ongoing vandalism that you're all aware of. We'll re-slurry, restripe, and seal the intake release center parking lot, better known as IRC, and the old courthouse lot. Those projects were both deferred from the previous year. That we stopped both of those when we realized the revenue was going to be so low. And then also we'll be replacing 3 of the parking booths that the attendants work in daily out there that have just gone beyond repair. They're rusted, they leak when it rains. And so these are all basic safety and security projects that we're looking forward to completing this year. That's all I have.
Thank you. So Frank, I have one question on the, is fencing going to be removed as part of the upcoming budget, or will fencing still be intact?
At this point, we're continuing with the fencing and that to continue basically the policy that's been in place for the fencing around the various areas in the Civic Center. So at this point, we haven't included. We'll monitor the situation and see if we need to make adjustments throughout the year. But at this point, the budget does include an amount for the fencing.
Okay. I'm supportive of the budget. I just have some concerns about the security. So hopefully the economy will roar back and we'll be able to revisit this when we have more revenue flowing in. But I do, especially with the work that the county is doing with the new wrap on the parking structure, the last thing we want to have is security and vandalism continuing to happen because we lowered that particular budget. Do any of my other members have questions for staff or comments? Seeing none, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the fiscal year 21-22 Orange County Civic Center Authority budget?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Second?
I second.
Okay. Madam Secretary, will you take roll call vote?
Yeah, yes. Brian Bauer,
Approve.
Member Palumbo,
Approve.
Member Treadaway,
Approve.
Member Saba,
Approve.
Chair Ridge.
Approve.
Okay, the motion is approved unanimously.
Okay. And just in time with the, since it's June 29th. Next is member comments. So I'll just go down the row. Brian, do you have any comments?
None.
Okay. Member Treadway?
I have no comments at this time. Thank you.
Member Saba?
Thanks, Chair Ridge. I just wanted to, I know it's in our future items is to discuss the land swap. So I'd like to see that we get a little bit more engaged in that conversation. And I know I did share some information on maps about that initiative, and I'd like to just for the future to continue that conversation with the county.
Okay, thank you, Member Saba. Member Palumbo?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I almost wanted to have this meeting in person just because it's nice to have meetings in person again, but we're so efficient that would have been probably longer for you to get to a meeting than what we took at the meeting. So as a member Saba indicated, we do have land swap to revisit it. It was first brought before this group, I think, well over a year ago. Does anybody else have any future agenda items? And actually, this will be my last meeting as chair because we are going to be rotating back to the county. So if you have any future agenda items, please provide them to member Treadway. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting, and you guys have a safe and wonderful 4th of July.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Take care.